To get started on the elevations viewport, what we're going to do first is create a brand new design layer and just call it elevations. So tools, organization, design layers, new, elevations. And now I've got that design layer created. And what I'm going to do is copy my model of the house to that. So for mine, I need to have the design layer 1, the ceilings and roof turned on. I'm going to go into the top plan. I'm going to make sure that under the view layer options, I have show snap modify others selected. That way when I copy the stuff from design layer 1, I can also select my ceilings and roof that I'll need for my elevation drawings. Now I'm just going to go in here and copy my cottage over. Any of this landscaping I'll get rid of later because I don't want that to be copied into my elevation drawing. So I'm going to do edit copy. Now what I'm going to do is go to my elevations design layer, turn off my other layers, and paste in place. This was just set to the wrong scale. I'm going to set the scale back. And there we go. Now I'm going to get rid of anything that's not included with the house. But right now you can see this is just the architectural model of the tiny house copied in there. And this is what I'm going to use to make my elevation drawings. Now I'm going to go in and turn this background off in this layer. Again, that's really easy to do. I just go to Tools, Organization, Elevations, Edit, Background None. And now I'll just have my house there. Now this is where we said we don't want to move this model around. We want to leave this model in space exactly where it's at. But this is what we're going to use to make all of our elevation drawings. And here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just group everything together. And now I'm going to make a copy of that group. Edit copy, edit paste in place. Now I've got two of the exact same models here. It's really important that I leave the original model right where it's at, but the copy that I just made, I'm going to convert to lines. Modify, convert, convert to lines, and I want to make sure that I have hidden line rendering selected. That's going to give us the best starting point for our elevations. Wireframe would show everything inside. Dashed hidden line would show everything inside with dashed lines. This will eliminate all of our interior work. So I'm going to click OK. And it's going to take one of those models and convert it to lines. That's what I can move on the page. You can see it right there. It started already. That's going to become eventually my front elevation. When I moved it, some of this stuff just went back to 0. I don't even need this thing, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now, what you can see is that left the model. So if I use my flyover tool, model still moves around. It's originally where it was in space, but the line drawings won't move at all. Now to make the other views, I'm just going to change it to the right side view. and repeat that process. Edit copy, edit paste in place. It's just converting it or pasting it in place now. Modify, convert to lines, hidden line. And you can see how you could do that on all 4 views to get the back, the left, and the right side. I'm not going to do all 4 views right now. Eventually, this last one would be converted to the left side, but I have these started up here right now. So this is enough for me to start to show you the next steps. What I need to do now is clean this up. I'll need to get rid of these lines that were the sink down here. But most importantly, what I wanted to show you was how we can add the siding material symbols to these. So at this point, I'm just going to ungroup this. These lines on the bottom where that sink is bother me. I'm getting rid of those. And I'm going to focus on adding some siding material to this now. Now this is all ungrouped. So right now, that is 572 lines. 572. I'll be grouping that together again after I'm done this next step. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and make it blueprint blue. I'd like you to use this bottom left icon for the blue color. I'm going to make all the lines 0.35. It won't look different on the screen, but it looks a lot different when we print them out. So now I've got that started for the blueprint blue and 0.35. Let's add the siding material in here real quick. All I'm going to do is set up the colors to a nice bright color here. I'm going to use my polyline tool, and I'm going to draw in wherever I need siding to be. In this case, it's going to be a polyline right here. Right there. That's what I'm going to use for my siding. Now, there's 2 things I can do. I can either turn the opacity down so I can see through that, or I could turn the fill off. Because what I need to do is cut out where the window is going to be. So I'm going to use the polyline tool now to trace where my window is going to be. All I'm going to do now is take those 2 polylines and clip surface. Modify, clip surface. When I delete the blue poly, you can see that it's cut out where my window is going to be, and that's the face that siding materials are going to go on. Now there's a lot of different things that we can use for the siding materials in a 2D drawing. There are all different types of hatches. So you can see here, there's hatches for brick, hatches for siding. We can search up here in our hatches. There's also all types of tiles that we use for different types of symbols. So here you can see I've already converted this stonework tiles. So there's all the different siding materials that we could use to match up with our elevations on here. I'm going to go back into my hatches so I can just show you how we would go about editing one of these. So let me just add this siding in here. There it is. So now I've got a siding material. And like I said before, all of these siding materials are going to need to be edited to the blue color. So that's really easy to do. I'm just going to right click on this. I'm going to locate this hatch in my resource manager. Now when I go up here into my drawing file, it highlighted it right here. I'm just going to edit that. Now some of these will have a lot of different levels. Like the one that we use for stucco has 15 different levels. So I would need to have all of those levels changed, but that's really easy to do. I'm just going to select the blueprint blue color, the 0.35 thickness, and then I would use same color, same thickness for all levels. When I click OK, my siding should change to blue. And there it is. That's how we get started on these elevation drawings. Now when we arrange that viewport, it'll look just like this. There we go. It'll be arranged in the viewport so that we have the front elevation in the top left of the viewport. Directly to the right of that will be the right side view, or the right elevation. Down in the bottom left of the viewport, we'll have the back elevation. Directly to the right side of it will be the left elevation. All of these will have drawing labels. We'll have an elevations label with the scale given also, and they'll fit into a 34 by 88 foot viewport that gets arranged just in the top right side of your sheet layer. Let me know if you have any questions or any problems as you create those elevations.